After my rebirth, I immediately had the driver pick me up from school in our most expensive car. All because my two-faced buddy wanted to be with my childhood sweetheart. He hinted to our classmates that I was the only poor student at school. He even pretended to be a young master from Beijing's elite circle. So, when he found me after school again, and said that if no one was picking me up, I could ride home in his family's luxury car, a globally limited edition Rolls-Royce pulled up at the school gates. Amid everyone's gasps, the driver stepped out. He came before me and respectfully said, "Young master, your father sent me to take you home." Got it. When they saw the car was mine, the other boys were stunned. Guyu? How could it be Guyu? What kind of background does Guyu have? How could his family afford such an extravagant car? Tianhao, you're close with Guyu. Do you know anything about his family? At that moment, half of Han Tianhao's face burned, as if someone had slapped him hard across the face. A globally limited edition Rolls-Royce. How rich did you have to be to afford that? Han Tianhao secretly clenched his fists. By then, I was already in the car. In the rearview mirror, I saw Han Tianhao's father, driving the Han family's Porsche to pick him up. But after the spectacle of my car, the Porsche looked utterly unimpressive. Seeing me act so out of character, the driver couldn't help asking, "Young master, didn't you hate drawing attention?" I've changed my mind. Starting today, I want a car to take me to and from school every day. The flashier, the better. Better yet, a different car every day. The driver was delighted by my request. "Young master, you should have done this long ago. I was the Gu family's precious darling. Since childhood, everyone in the Gu family had handled me like I might break. They treasured me like I might melt away. I was originally supposed to study abroad, but I came to Lin Shanghai because of my engagement to the Yi family. I was meant to build a relationship with the Yi family's daughter." I looked at Uncle Li. "Is there a dinner tonight?" "Yes, it's about your marriage to Miss Yi." "Good." I clearly remembered that at this dinner in my past life, my parents had wanted to break off the engagement, but Yi Yuyan's mother was determined to marry her into my family. Yi Yuyan wanted no part of it, but she couldn't defy her mother's wishes. After all, the Yi family was on the verge of collapse. Without the Gu family's help, the Yi family would go bankrupt within 6 months. In my past life, I was soft-hearted. I couldn't bear to see my childhood crush's family fall into ruin, so I readily agreed to marry Yi Yuyan after graduation. But in this life, I won't be such a fool again. Soon, the car stopped outside the Four Seasons Hotel. I got out. At once, I saw Yi Yuyan, who had just arrived at the entrance. Outside the hotel, Yi Yuyan deliberately waited for me. Only when I approached did she speak coldly. "Guyu, I'm warning you. I don't like you, and I will never marry you. Neither do I." The moment I said that, Yi Yuyan frowned. She could clearly see that I have feelings for her. It wasn't as though she hadn't noticed. Even an idiot knew I had a crush on her. But I never said it, and she had no intention of exposing it. After all, she had no interest in me whatsoever. Yet now I was saying I didn't like her and didn't want to marry her. Yi Yuyan gave a cold snort. She assumed my wounded pride was acting up after her rejection. Inside the private VIP room, my parents were already seated. Since Father Yi had died young, Mother Yi alone presided over the meeting. The moment Yi Yuyan and I entered the room, Mother Yi came over and affectionately took my hand. "Xiao Yu, look at you. It's only been a few days, and you've lost weight. You're even more handsome now." I remembered well that Mother Yi was a master schemer. After I married Yi Yuyan in my past life, Mother Yi plotted to take my assets. Even before Yi Yuyan and I married, she was already plotting over our marital assets. Later, Mother Yi lived out her old age comfortably on the money I brought to the Yi family. She even dressed up to attend Yi Yuyan and Han Tianhao's wedding. Seeing Mother Yi's mercenary look, I pulled my hand away. "Annie Yi, I'm actually 11 pounds heavier than last time. Let's discuss the real matter at hand today." Seeing my distant attitude, Mother Yi couldn't help feeling awkward. Yi Yuyan, standing beside her, looked displeased. "Guyu, how can you speak to my mother that way?" I only told the truth. "Yi Yuyan, why are you getting worked up?" Yi Yuyan gave a cold snort at my excuse. "Guyu, drop that spoiled rich boy attitude. I know you look down on the Yi family. Our family may be beneath yours, but if you don't want to marry me, you can just say so." Mother Yi angrily slapped Yi Yuyan's arm. "Yuyan, what nonsense are you talking about? The Yi family has fallen on hard times. Without the Gu family, how could they possibly restore the Yi family on their own?" Yi Yuyan made no attempt to hide her displeasure. "Mom, don't stop me. I'm only telling the truth." Sure enough, both my parents' expressions changed. If they had maintained basic politeness before, now they couldn't even force a smile. So this was how Yuyan had always seen their son. It seems your daughter doesn't wish to marry my son either. Then let's call off this engagement. Mr. Gu, Yuyan is just being immature. Please don't be angry. I'll have Yuyan properly apologize to Xiaoyu. Besides, hasn't Xiaoyu always liked Yuyan? These two are just having a little spat. Xiaoyu, isn't that right? Mother Yi looked at me anxiously. I merely answered calmly. Annie, you're mistaken. Yuyan and I have only ever been childhood friends. Just now, outside the entrance, Yuyan already told me herself. She said she doesn't like me, and she will never marry me. I feel the same way. So I came here today to make this clear. I want to break off my engagement to Yuyan. At my words, Mother Yi froze. Yuyan stood rooted to the spot in shock. I used to have a crush on her and tried every possible way to talk to her. She knew all of that. How could I suddenly agree to call off our engagement? My parents were stunned as well. I'd always been incredibly stubborn. They'd always urged me not to become the Yi family's live-in son-in-law. But I refused to listen. Why had I suddenly changed my mind today? Annie, we won't be staying for dinner. Our families should have less contact from now on. With that, I stood up. I walked over to my parents. Mom, Dad, let's go. Seeing my parents seated right across from me, my eyes stung with tears. It was my stubbornness in my past life that led Yuyan to retaliate against the Gu family. Put simply, Yuyan was an ungrateful wretch. In my past life, my parents helped the Yi family so much. But once the Yi family rose to power, and Yuyan gained status and influence, the first target she went after was the Gu Corporation because Yuyan was fiercely proud and petty at heart. She always believed my parents wanting me to marry her was an insult to the Yi family and charity directed at her, Yuyan. So, once she gained power, she couldn't wait to destroy the Gu family, to erase her so-called humiliation. A woman like that didn't deserve the Gu family's help at all. When we returned home for dinner, I resolved to lose weight. My mother said nothing and quietly came in carrying a plate. Looking at the boiled vegetables and shrimp set before me, I froze. My mother spoke gently. No matter how much you want to lose weight, you can't stop eating. From now on, I'll have the housekeeper prepare diet meals for you. My eyes grew misty without me realizing. Having mom and dad here is wonderful. After living through the second life, I finally understood how precious family truly was. In my past life, my weight made me insecure. Yet I completely ignored the warmth my parents gave me. Instead, I sought that warmth from someone else. Thanks, Mom. I lowered my head and took huge bites of vegetables. I made up my mind. In 3 months, I would definitely slim down. The next day, I was starving and dizzy. When I stepped on the scale, I found that I'd lost 5.5 pounds overnight. Despite my delight, I knew it was only water weight. Losing weight requires persistence. I couldn't let my guard down. Every day, I was driven to and from school in luxury cars. It made the other students green with envy. I took my seat. Tianhao handed me a box of chocolates. I gave a bitter laugh. I was insecure as a child, but I wasn't actually that overweight. Then, for no reason at all, I started gaining weight. At the time, I thought stress was the cause. Only later did I realize something was wrong. The time I began gaining weight coincided exactly with when I met Tianhao. Besides tempting me with food, he had probably used drugs to make me gain weight too. Don't be so polite with me. I just see how hard you're working to lose weight. One little piece won't hurt. As he spoke, he shoved the chocolates into my hand. But unexpectedly, I suddenly cried out, and the box of chocolates fell to the floor. The noise immediately drew attention throughout the classroom. After I said a few words to the English teacher mid-lesson, she confiscated the chocolates. Watching the English teacher take away the chocolates, Tianhao looked unhappy. Having them confiscated was the least of it. There was something in those chocolates. I watched as Tianhao's scheme failed. Then I sat back down. The English teacher always loved getting things for free. That box of chocolates was so expensive. After confiscating it, she would surely eat every last one. I wanted to see how Tianhao would clean up the mess once the truth came out. Soon, it was break time. After class, Tianhao hurried to the office to admit his mistake to the English teacher. Tianhao would not be getting those chocolates back. As he left the office, he ran straight into Yuyan. Seeing Tianhao's dejected state, Yuyan asked, Tianhao, what were you doing in the office? Tianhao explained what happened. When she heard him mention me, Yuyan grew impatient. You should stay away from Guyu from now on. Have you forgotten what happened at the pool? You told me afterward that Guyu pulled you into the water. He had bad intentions from the start. You don't need someone like that as a friend. Seeing Yuyan defend him, Han Tianhao secretly felt pleased. Thinking about how I'd been driven around in luxury cars these past few days, Han Tianhao couldn't help asking, "So, is Guyu's family very wealthy? I see different cars taking him to and from school every day. They must be quite rich, right? Were you two childhood sweethearts? I have no relationship with him. What does his family's money have to do with me?" Han Tianhao heard the irritation in Yuyan's voice. He quickly said, "Sorry, I was just asking." Seeing Han Tianhao's flustered expression, Yuyan realized her attitude had been too harsh. She comforted him. "All right, I know you're worried that I like him. You can rest easy. You're the one I like. I'd never fall for that ugly freak, Guyu." At that, the tips of Han Tianhao's ears turned red. Just as Yuyan threw herself into Han Tianhao's arms, Han Tianhao suddenly spotted me standing behind Yuyan. I'd just come upstairs and walked right into that shocking scene. Han Tianhao frantically pushed Yuyan away. "Xiaoyu, don't misunderstand. Just now, When Yuyan heard that I'd arrived, she simply leaned into Han Tianhao's arms. What's there to misunderstand? We like each other. Han Tianhao is now my boyfriend." Yuyan looked at me with a cold smile. She desperately wanted to see pain and regret in my eyes. After all, I used to have a crush on her. I followed her around like a clingy puppy. I had even desperately tried to lose weight for her. She wanted me to know that refusing to marry her would be the greatest regret of my life. Just as Yuyan waited to see my regret, without expression, I pointed at the two of them. Then I called to the dean, who was making his rounds upstairs. "Dean, Yuyan and Han Tianhao are dating." Seeing the dean walking toward them, Han Tianhao immediately shoved Yuyan away. When the dean saw Han Tianhao and Yuyan, two model students, embracing each other, his expression turned stern at once. "You two, come to my office." Yuyan and Han Tianhao were taken away by the dean. As she left, Yuyan shot me a vicious glare. I couldn't care less about Yuyan's childish behavior. The Yuyan of today couldn't hurt me at all. After class, Han Tianhao returned to the classroom dejected. The other students gathered around Han Tianhao, asking what had happened. But Han Tianhao only glared at me resentfully. Inside the classroom, Yuyan stormed in furiously. She rushed over and grabbed my arm. "Come with me." Yuyan was incredibly strong. She practically dragged me outside. Just as I was considering how to humiliate Yuyan again, a fair-skinned arm suddenly reached across in front of me, pinning down Yuyan's hand. "Let go." That voice sounded so familiar. I seemed to have heard it when I came back to life. I saw that it was Qingran. You think you can stand up for Guyu?" Yuyan tried to shake off Qingran's hand, but Qingran did not budge. Without using much strength at all, she kept Yuyan from breaking free. Unable to shake off even Qingran, Yuyan's face darkened. From the corner of her eye, she saw Han Tianhao sitting nearby. Of course, Yuyan couldn't stand looking so pathetic in front of the man she liked. So, when the other girl wasn't paying attention, she kicked at Qingran. Qingran wasn't prepared. She lost her balance and slammed into the desk behind her. I immediately shouted toward the door. "Teacher, Yuyan hit someone." "Guyu, shut up." Yuyan looked furious, but it was too late. The homeroom teacher came over after hearing the commotion. She saw Qingran clutching her lower abdomen, pale-faced, while Yuyan was still pointing at my nose in fury. The homeroom teacher had had enough. "Yuyan, how many scenes are you going to cause in one day? Have your parents come here after school today?" Soon, Yuyan was taken away by the homeroom teacher. I turned to Qingran, whose face was pale. "I'll take you to the infirmary." Before Qingran could agree, I lifted her into my arms. Qingran froze. She stared at my profile in a daze. The students around us quickly erupted in teasing cheers. Hearing them jeer, Qingran frowned, her gaze turning icy. It sent a chill through the whole class. No one dared make another sound. Qingran no longer let me carry her. She took my wrist and led me out of the classroom. Looking at the hand Qingran used to hold mine, I was stunned. I clearly saw the faint blush at the tips of Qingran's ears. I remembered when I came back to life, when someone seemed to pull me from the water and give me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Before I knew it, I asked, "Qingran, were you the one who gave me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation at the pool that day?" The moment the words left my mouth, even I was startled. Qingran reacted as though she'd been electrocuted, snatching back the hand that held mine. "Sorry, I didn't mean to. I never said you did. I wanted to thank you." Yi Qingran said nothing. She just headed toward the infirmary. Inside the infirmary, the doctor examined Yi Qingran's injury. It's nothing serious. Some medicated oil will do the trick. One bottle cost 80 yuan. Just pay at the desk. At that, Yi Qingran pressed her lips together. No need. With that, she turned and left the infirmary. I hurried after Yi Qingran. Yi Qingran had no intention of waiting for me. In my panic, as I rushed after her, my foot slipped, and I was about to fall. Yi Qingran suddenly reached out and steadied my arm. Did you hurt yourself anywhere? I shook my head. I pulled a bottle of medicated oil from my pocket. Then I pressed it into Yi Qingran's hand. Your injury doesn't look serious. I've been using this a lot lately. You can give it a try. Looking at the medicated oil in her hand, Yi Qingran fell silent for a moment. I knew perfectly well that Yi Qingran was an illegitimate daughter. At the Yi home, Mrs. Yi and Yi Yuyan often bullied her. Now that the Yi family was in trouble, Mrs. Yi was even less likely to give Yi Qingran any money. Yi Qingran pushed the medicated oil back to me. Thank you, but I don't need it. I considered Yi Qingran's pride. I'm not giving you this medicated oil for free. You'll be paid. At the mention of payment, Yi Qingran stopped walking. I know you're short on money at the Yi house. You saved me too, so I want to make a deal with you. What kind of deal? You know I'm trying to lose weight. Help me with it. I'll give you 500 yuan a month. How does that sound? Yi Qingran frowned at that. I'm not that expensive. Of course, you'll only get paid if it works. I pulled several red banknotes from my pocket. I placed them in Yi Qingran's hand along with the medicated oil. This is your pay for the week, and my thank you gift to you. Every day during lunch break and afternoon exercise break, wait for me. Before Yi Qingran could agree, the class bell rang. I took Yi Qingran by the hand and started toward the classroom. Come on, class is starting. When I returned to class A, the teacher had not arrived yet. At some point, someone had knocked over my desk and chair. My books and everything in my backpack were scattered across the floor. My eyes darkened at the sight. Everyone in the class watched me and snickered. Who did this? The moment I spoke, not one person around me answered. Zhou Kai spoke arrogantly. Who knows? Maybe the wind did it. But snitchies deserve to be punished. One look at Zhou Kai told me he was definitely behind it. Zhou Kai had always been desperate to suck up to Tianhao. With a cold laugh, I walked straight over. I forcefully flipped over Zhou Kai's desk. Zhou Kai leaped from his chair in fright. Guyu, are you crazy? Then I kicked Zhou Kai's chair over. Zhou Kai's cries rang through the classroom. I shot him a glare. Shut your mouth. I'm warning all of you. If you don't want your parents called in one by one, don't touch anything in my desk. Guyu, am not someone you can push around. Han Tianhao stood up, wearing an air of moral superiority. Guyu, you've gone too far. We're all classmates. How can you bully a classmate like this? Shut up. You broke the rules by dating at school. Yet you put on such a pitiful act and have your friends stand up for you. If I report what happened today to the teacher, they'll get written up because of you. Is that how you treat your friends? Han Tianhao's face immediately darkened. My guilt-tripping left him nailed to the wall of shame. Seeing Han Tianhao rendered speechless, Zhou Kai stepped forward again to defend him. Guyu, quit talking nonsense. We just don't like you. It has nothing to do with Tianhao. Is that so? Then you're admitting you knocked over my desk. Today, you knocked over my desk. Tomorrow, you'll dare physically harm me. Looks like I won't just call the teacher. I'll call the police too. When he heard I was calling the police, Zhou Kai's face went pale. Seeing that I was about to leave, he rushed over and grabbed my arm. Guyu, stop right there. The Chinese teacher was already walking in from outside. She saw Zhou Kai tugging at me. I deliberately went limp. With that pull from Zhou Kai, he dragged me toward the overturned desk beside us. When the Chinese teacher saw me fall, she hurried over and helped me up. Guyu, are you all right? Pale-faced, I shook my head. I'm fine, teacher. What happened? Why is the classroom such a mess? Zhou Kai and the others stood to one side, rigid with fear. They didn't dare say a word. They could only anxiously watch for my answer. I glanced at Zhou Kai and the others, knowing I'd achieved my goal. We had a small misunderstanding during break, but we've already made up. Right, Zhou Kai? When they heard that I hadn't reported them, Zhou Kai and the others were stunned. The Chinese teacher clearly didn't believe it, but she still helped me to my feet. It's good that the misunderstanding is resolved. Just don't let me find out someone was deliberately retaliating. As she spoke, the Chinese teacher looked straight at Han Tianhao. Han Tianhao and Yuyan dating at school. had already become the talk of the staff room. That look from the Chinese teacher made Han Tianhao deeply uncomfortable. After class, Han Tianhao came looking for me as I was heading out for a run. He guiltily put an arm around my shoulders. Xiao Yu, when Zhou Kai and the others were bullying you, I tried to stop them, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. You weren't hurt just now, were you? I looked at him coldly. You think this has nothing to do with you? With that, I turned to leave. Han Tianhao anxiously ran in front of me. Xiao Yu, I've already admitted I was wrong. Please forgive me. We're best friends. I know you're upset because Yuyan confessed to me. It made you unhappy. So, you tattled to the teacher. But feelings can't be forced. Han Tianhao deliberately raised his voice, making sure every student in the hallway could hear. Seeing the crowd's eager gossiping faces, I couldn't help laughing. Yuyan, I already dumped her. If you like her, she's yours. After throwing out those words, I brushed past Han Tianhao. He froze for a moment. What did he mean? She was the one he didn't want. Just then, Yuyan walked out of the office with a dark expression. Her homeroom teacher had made her stand through an entire class. She'd even had points deducted from her academic record. Guyu! Yuyan's low, furious shout stopped me in my tracks. Yuyan grabbed Han Tianhao's arm and linked hers through it. From today on, Han Tianhao is my boyfriend. No one will ever break us apart. I turned back to look at Han Tianhao, sneering inwardly. In my previous life, Yuyan had been deeply in love with Han Tianhao for years. She only loved him because she couldn't have him when they were young. What you can't have when you're young can haunt you for a lifetime. But once she got him while she was young, it would not necessarily be a perfect ending, especially with the Yi family on the brink of bankruptcy. And Han Tianhao was merely a driver's son. What the two of them would face in the future would be far more than Han Tianhao's lies. Their ending was easy to foresee. I ignored them and walked away. After the last class that afternoon, I went to wait for Yi Qingran outside Class F. I also saw Mrs. Yi rush into the school, furious. A crowd had gathered outside the office. Even from outside Class F, I could hear the sharp crack of a slap from inside the office. Mrs. Yi's shrill voice pierced everyone's ears. Yuyan, you have no shame, but I do. Who gave you permission to start dating so young? Yuyan was now Mrs. Yi's only hope. If Yuyan's school romance affected her studies, the Yi family would truly be finished, especially at a time like this. Yuyan had fallen for a boy other than me, other than the Gu family. Who else could help the Yi family at this critical moment? Just then, Yi Qingran's cool, clear voice reached my ears. Guyu. I turned and saw Yi Qingran standing before me. Come on, let's go to the pool. At your current size, running won't be very effective for weight loss. It could also damage your knees. Swimming is better suited for you. Then come to my house. We have a pool. At my sudden invitation, Yi Qingran was taken aback. Don't worry, I'll cover the fare. I pressed 50 yuan into Yi Qingran's hand. Yi Qingran looked at the 50 yuan in her hand without speaking. Then she pushed the money back to me. I've already accepted your payment. I promised to help you lose weight, so I won't charge you anything extra. Seeing that, I didn't insist. The two of us walked one after the other to the school gate. A luxury car was waiting right in front of us. The driver opened the door for Yi Qingran. Yi Qingran got into the car, looking slightly self-conscious. I got in right after her. Seeing Yi Qingran's unease, I smiled and said, Don't be nervous. My parents are very kind. They just don't like Yuyan. That's all. Yi Qingran said nothing. Soon, the car arrived at the Gu family villa. The moment Yi Qingran and I entered the house, the scent of dinner drifted down the hallway. I suggested, Let's eat first. You'll need energy to work out. No, My mother's voice interrupted Yi Qingran's long-prepared refusal. Xiao Yu, change your shoes and come eat. When my mother reached the entryway, she finally noticed Yi Qingran standing beside me. Qingran? My father came downstairs from the second floor as well. He was puzzled to see Yi Qingran return with me. Didn't our son hate the Yi family? Why was he suddenly so close to Yi Qingran? Mom, Dad, Yi Qingran is helping me lose weight. From now on, set an extra place every evening. I said it casually, as if it were nothing, leaving Qingran no room to refuse. My parents exchanged a look. Though they disliked the Yi family, they still politely invited Yi Qingran in to change her shoes and have dinner. In the living room, the table held 6 dishes and a soup. Since I was dieting, I could only eat shrimp and broccoli. Seeing how thin Yi Qingran was, my mother sympathetically gave her an extra helping of rice. Eat slowly. There's plenty more if you need it. Thank you, Enigu. Yi Qingran cleaned every grain of rice from her bowl. Afterward, She silently tried to wash the dishes. Seeing this, I immediately set down my chopsticks. I called to Annie Wu in the kitchen. Annie Wu, please take care of the dishes. Annie Wu stepped forward and took the dishes from Yi Qingran. Second Miss Yi, just leave them to me. Yi Qingran opened her mouth, but never got the chance to say what she wanted. I led Yi Qingran to the backyard pool. Seeing a pool as large as the school swimming facility, Yi Qingran couldn't help but stare in amazement. By then, I had changed into my swimsuit and come out. Yi Qingran handed me a weight loss plan. Here, this is for you. During break, she had already drawn up a detailed plan based on my condition. I was surprised. You finished this so quickly? I looked over the remarkably detailed plan in my hand. It even listed what I should eat each day and how much water I should drink, as well as how much exercise I needed. Yi Qingran replied seriously. You can't lose weight by starving yourself. You ate far too little tonight. Usually, eat more cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. Things like winter melon and corn are fine too, but you can't eat until you're full every day. Remember to go to bed hungry each night. I nodded, only half understanding. Seeing that I still didn't quite understand, Yi Qingran fell silent for a moment, then spoke again. I'll supervise you every day. You don't need to understand it all perfectly. At that, I nodded. In a corner, my parents peeked out, watching Yi Qingran supervise me swimming from the poolside. The two of us barely spoke the entire time. My mother was confused. What's going on? Is she really just here to help you work out? My father was equally baffled. Could Xiaoyu have moved on to someone else? He doesn't like Yuyan anymore, and likes Yi Qingran now. Their back and forth caught Yi Qingran's and my attention. I poked my head above the deep end. Mom, Dad, what are you doing? Hearing my voice, my parents hurried out from the corner. Your mother and I prepared some fruit for you too. You can have some when you're tired from swimming. Yes. If swimming alone gets too boring, go to the gym on the second floor. It has all kinds of equipment. My parents smiled awkwardly. I immediately realized my parents had gotten the wrong idea. I climbed out of the pool and took the fruit from my mom. Thanks, Mom. Go back inside. Stop watching. I shooed my parents away. Then I looked at Yi Qingran. Let's keep going. I resumed swimming, pretending nothing had happened, though I was actually a little embarrassed. Sure enough, when I lifted my head from the water, I met Yi Qingran's deep gaze. I gave an awkward little laugh. Have some fruit. Then I ducked back underwater. Yi Qingran said nothing, but the tips of her ears turned red. For 7 days straight, Yi Qingran and I went home together after school. But no one really noticed, because everyone's attention at school was fixed on Yi Yuyan and Han Tianhao. After the parents were called in that day, Yi Yuyan fell out with her family over Han Tianhao. She even claimed she would give up the Yi family inheritance. She nearly angered Mother Yi into the hospital. The teachers were helpless when it came to Yi Yuyan and Han Tianhao. One day, just after we arrived at school, a student suddenly ran in and shouted in panic. Something terrible happened. The moment I heard that, the English teacher was the first person I thought of. 7 days had already passed. The effects should have appeared by now. Clearly, the other students had no idea what had happened. But eager to see the drama, everyone rushed toward the classroom building. The English teacher's shrill voice came from the office. Mr. Wang, you owe me an explanation today. The homeroom teacher was at a loss too. He had no idea what was going on. He could only have a student bring Han Tianhao over first. When Han Tianhao was called into the office, the English teacher's sharp eyes immediately locked onto him. Han Tianhao, get over here. She dragged Han Tianhao before the homeroom teacher and demanded, what exactly did you put in that chocolate? The English teacher had once been slim, but in just 1 week, her figure had visibly gone out of shape. Han Tianhao's face went deathly pale. I don't know. I didn't do it. Seeing how frightened Han Tianhao was, the homeroom teacher immediately took his side. Ms. Liu, you gain weight from eating. Why are you blaming my student? Are you saying my student drugged you? I've been dieting these past few days. Other than eating that box of chocolates every day, I only drank tea. How could I gain over 16 pounds in 1 week? I already had the chocolates tested. The results show that someone added hormones to them. Han Tianhao, you've really outdone yourself. The students outside gasped. How could this be? Adding hormones is terrifying. Tianhao is so kind. How could he possibly drug the English teacher? It was the first time the students had heard such explosive gossip. The homeroom teacher's face darkened as well. He looked at the conclusion on the test report, then yanked Han Tianhao over. Han Tianhao, is this true? Did you do this? Han Tianhao went pale. He never expected one box of chocolates would make things spiral this badly. No, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. You're drugging people at such a young age. Who knows what you'll do when you grow up? Call your parents and get them here. There must be an explanation for this. The English teacher dragged Han Tianhao over to the phone. Just then, Yuyan stepped forward. I put the drug in the chocolates. It has nothing to do with Han Tianhao. Anyone could see it. Yuyan was taking the blame for Han Tianhao. Yuyan stepped forward and pulled Han Tianhao away. I drugged them. If you want parents here, call mine. That afternoon, Yuyan's parents were called in. When Mother Yi learned her daughter was paying for Han Tianhao's mistake, her opinion of Han Tianhao dropped even further. But that wasn't the end of it. The English teacher insisted on calling the police and disciplining Yuyan. After Mother Yi repeatedly begged, not only did they pay 200,000 yuan in compensation, Yuyan also received a major demerit at such a crucial time in junior year. What did a major demerit mean? It meant Yuyan might miss out on the prestigious university she had always dreamed of. I was in a great mood that day. I had even more energy for exercise. Just over 10 days after my rebirth, I had already lost 22 pounds. Of course, losing weight would only get harder from here on out, but at least I was off to a good start. With final exams drawing near, every student in Class A studied hard. Every day, they either drilled practice questions or buried themselves in memorization. Only Yuyan, after that incident, seemed to have given up entirely. Every day, she skipped class to go on dates with Han Tianhao. I was no longer surprised. I was studying hard in the library when someone suddenly kicked the chair across from me. I frowned. When I looked up, I saw Yuyan, just as expected. I was thoroughly impatient. What do you want? You were behind the chocolate incident, weren't you? What makes you think it was me? Other than Tianhao, you were the only one who touched those chocolates, and you still say it wasn't you? Then why don't you suspect Han Tianhao instead of me? Yuyan looked disdainful. Tianhao is kind. But you? Guyu, how did I never realize you were this vicious? I closed my book, looking utterly unconcerned. If you have any brains, investigate it yourself. If you find proof that I did it, then by all means report me. But if you have no proof, don't play bodyguard for your man in front of me. You're unbelievably stupid. My words provoked Yuyan. She slammed her hands on the table, rose to her feet, and moved to strike me. The next second, someone seized Yuyan's arm. This is a library. It isn't a place for you to cause trouble. Who do you think you are? Get lost. Yuyan tried to shake off Qingran. She tried several times but could not break free. A librarian's duty is to maintain order in the library. Do I need to sound the alarm? Yuyan looked at Qingran, then at me. Ha. What? You two are together now. Guyu, you used to chase after me shamelessly, and now you've turned around and gotten together with Qingran. The moment Yuyan finished speaking, Qingran slapped her. Afraid things would escalate, I immediately stood up. Qingran, don't hit her. After hearing me speak, Qingran calmed down. She looked coldly at Yuyan on the floor. Watch your mouth. If there is a next time, I will tear your mouth to shreds. Yuyan never expected Qingran to dare hit her. She was instantly consumed by rage. Just as Yuyan was about to retaliate, I stepped in front of Qingran. Yuyan, you insulted her first. You deserved that slap. If you hit back, you'll be the one in the wrong. Do you want another demerit? A demerit is a demerit. Like I'm scared of that. Don't forget, if you get one more demerit, you'll be expelled. And if you leave, what will Han Tianhao do? At the mention of Han Tianhao, Yuyan's raised hand stopped instantly. I knew I had found Yuyan's weak spot. So I took Qingran by the arm. Come on, help me find somewhere else to study. This time, Yuyan did not come after us. Once Yuyan was gone, I casually found a seat and sat down. What rotten luck. Seriously, I'm going back to work. Qingran's tone was flat. For some reason, I felt that Qingran was a little unhappy. I stepped forward to comfort her. Yuyan was just spouting nonsense. She's the one with a twisted heart. Don't take it to heart. I'm used to it. You're a librarian? Why didn't you tell me before? You never asked. Qingran shelved books while I followed behind her. Your grades are so good. You should have been in Class A. Why did you get into a fight before? Qingran did not seem willing to say more. I gave an awkward little laugh beside her, so things would not feel so tense between us. Watching Qingran work hard shelving books, I thought of how difficult life was for her and the Yi family. After thinking it over, I spoke. Qingran, I know you're an excellent student. Can you do me a favor? Go on. I need someone to tutor me. Could you tutor me every evening from now on? I'll pay you separately. How about 100 yuan per lesson? Qingran looked up at me. You rank in the top 10 of the grade every exam. You don't need tutoring. I've been slacking lately. I've done terribly on practice questions. Forget the top 10 in the grade. I cannot even make the top 100. Don't worry. If I pass these finals, I'll pay you 1,000 yuan. Please help me. Seeing that I did not seem to be lying, Qingran hesitated for a moment. I continued. If that is too much trouble, you can tutor me on weekends instead. All right. When Qingran agreed, joy flashed across my face. It's a deal. With a top student like Qingran helping me, I was sure to do well on the next finals. Just as I was about to go back to studying, Qingran suddenly began coughing violently. Only then did I notice how unwell she looked. From the harsh coughing, her face and neck had turned red. Qingran. I reached out to feel Qingran's forehead, but she reflexively knocked my hand away. No need. Another librarian hurried over. Qingran, I told you to wait there while I got your medicine. Why are you wandering around? Medicine? What's wrong with Qingran? What else? She has a fever. Yuyan's mother is truly vicious. Qingran only got home a few hours late these past few days. She even locked her out all night, several nights in a row. No wonder she has a fever. Cheng Rui. Qingran's sudden rebuke made Cheng Rui obediently fall silent. I froze. All this time, Qingran had been helping me lose weight. She never got home until 8 or 9 at night. The Gu and Yi residences were 2 kilometers apart, yet she always insisted on going home alone, refusing to let the Gu family's car take her. I never imagined Mrs. Yi could be so heartless. She would not even let Qingran through the door. Guyu, you really are an idiot. How could you not have considered this? I was only telling the truth. Why are you getting mad? As Cheng Rui handed Qingran the medicine, her gaze shifted between Qingran and me, noticing the strange tension between us. I'll go get you some water. You to talk. With that, Cheng Rui ran off. Looking at Qingran's pale face, I was filled with concern. Why didn't you tell me Aunt Yi was treating you like this? This has nothing to do with you. How could it have nothing to do with me? If I had not kept you late to help me lose weight, Aunt Yi would not have locked you out. I chose to do it, and you paid me. In any case, my affairs are none of your business. I don't need you interfering. With that, she turned and left. Guilt flooded my heart as I watched Qingran walk away. I had thought that paying Qingran to help me lose weight would not only improve our relationship, but also help improve her life. I never expected it would only bring her more trouble. That evening, I returned home. Seeing that I had come back alone, Mother, who had set out 5 place settings, was taken aback. Xiaoyu, why are you alone? Where's Qingran? She's sick. What happened? Did she wear herself out exercising with you? She's been tutoring me these past few days, so she got home very late. Aunt Yi locked her out of the house. That is why she came down with a fever. After I finished speaking, Father came out from the living room as well. Mom, Dad, I need to ask you for a favor. My parents exchanged a glance. Night fell. Qingran dragged her heavy body to the Yi family home. There, she ran into Yuyan and Mother Yi, seated in a luxury car. Mrs. Yi had clearly just brought Yuyan back from the hospital. The wounds Yuyan had suffered that day were still clearly visible on her face. Mom, Qingran was the one who hit me. Mrs. Yi shot Qingran a glare. Well, Qingran, I took you in and raised you, and you dared to hit my daughter. How can you be so vicious? You're nothing but an ungrateful wretch. As she spoke, Mrs. Yi stepped forward and pinched Qingran's arm. You hit my daughter, and you have the nerve to come back. Come on. You're coming to the police station. This isn't over. Qingran frowned slightly. She forcefully shook off Mrs. Yi, only to receive a slap from Mrs. Yi. How dare you defy me? You dare fight back. Mrs. Yi's nails scratched Qingran's cheek. Several bloody marks were clearly visible. Just then, headlights shone over the 3 of them. My parents and I stepped out of the car. Then 2 more cars pulled up beside us. The Gu family's bodyguards and lawyers stepped out. Mrs. Yi had never seen such a display. For a moment, she stood there stunned. Mr. and Mrs. Gu, what are you doing here? Mother rushed to Qingran and helped her up. Don't call me that. Seeing the bloody scratches on Qingran's face, Mother spoke angrily. Mrs. Yi, you are far too cruel. Mrs. Yi's smile vanished. Mr. and Mrs. Gu, this girl attacked Yuyan at school. I was just furious, so I disciplined her a little. Mother glared at Mother Yi. You were just furious and disciplined her a little. You previously locked Qingran out, making this child freeze outside all night. Was that just disciplining her a little too? I don't think you're fit to keep raising Qingran. Let us take Qingran in instead. What? Before Mrs. Yi could react, the lawyer stepped forward and handed the documents to Mrs. Yi. Mrs. Yi, your actions have already violated the law. If you don't want us to sue, I suggest you hand her over to us quietly. Mrs. Yi froze. Yuyan immediately stepped forward. If they want to raise her, let them have her. At least that saves us the cost of feeding her. Mrs. Yi looked at the documents before her, but she was not as clueless as Yuyan. If you take this girl, what do I get out of it? After all, she's my husband's bastard child. I can't just hand her over to you for nothing, can I? Hearing Mrs. Yi's words, I let out a cold laugh. That was just like Mrs. Yi. Even now, she was looking to make a profit. Seeing father about to offer Mrs. Yi compensation, I spoke before he could. Aunt Yi, you abused Yi Qingran. If word of this gets around our social circle, it will bring nothing but harm to you and the Yi family. We're helping you, yet you're demanding something from us. We have no compensation to offer. Why don't we take this straight to court? If this reaches the police station, given your conduct, you may even face prison time. The Gu family can still adopt Yi Qingran then. At my words, Mrs. Yi's face turned several shades paler. Mom, sign it. I don't want to see her anyway. Mrs. Yi thought so too, but knowing she would have to give Yi Qingran away without gaining anything, left a bitter taste in her mouth. Seeing Mrs. Yi hesitate, I said, Mom, Dad, stop trying to be the good guys here. We're only helping her out of respect for our past relationship. She's the one who doesn't want it. Then let's just go straight to the police station. There's no need to waste time here. When Mrs. Yi saw that I was truly heading for the car, she immediately panicked. I'll sign it. I'll sign. Mrs. Yi hurriedly picked up a pen. Without even reading the documents properly, she signed them. Watching from nearby, I curled my lips into a faint smile. Take her. Just do not call the police. Mother could not be bothered to respond. She helped Yi Qingran into the car. Yi Qingran's fever was severe, and Mrs. Yi had just slapped her. She was already half conscious. I was worried. Mom, Yi Qingran's fever is too high. We should take her to the hospital first. Xiao Li, to the hospital, hurry. Late that night, in a hospital room, Mother and Father went to arrange her admission. I stayed by Yi Qingran's bedside. Yi Qingran's fever had reached 39 degrees Celsius. The slap she took had been hard. Her left cheek was red and swollen, with 3 fresh bloody scratches. After the doctor treated her, half her face finally looked a little better. Mom. In her haze, Yi Qingran grabbed a hand with prominent knuckles. It was cool and comforting, as though it drove away the heat burning inside her. Yi Qingran suddenly opened her eyes. Her sudden awakening startled me. You're awake. When Yi Qingran said nothing, I reached over and touched her forehead. It was still burning hot. Your fever is high. You're in the hospital now. My parents just went to arrange your admission. Tomorrow morning, we can go home. At the word home, Yi Qingran's eyes dimmed. I continued. My home. You never have to return to the Yi family again. Yi Qingran froze. Clearly, the fever had left her confused. She was not fully conscious yet. What had just happened outside the Yi family home was completely gone from her memory. Just then, my parents entered the room. Seeing Yi Qingran awake, Mother stepped forward and spoke kindly. Qingran, get plenty of rest at the hospital. Tomorrow morning, Uncle Gu and I will take you home. I've already arranged leave from school for you. Go back once you're feeling better. Yi Qingran's eyes reddened. Thank you, Annie. It's all right. From now on, we're family. Mother stroked Yi Qingran's head. Mom, Dad, you should go home first. I'll stay here with her. I can go straight to school tomorrow morning. Mother looked at me, then at the frail Yi Qingran. She likely felt it was not right to leave Yi Qingran alone in the room. So she agreed. Father was concerned. How about I hire a caregiver to stay with you? No need, Dad. It's just one night. Just have Uncle Lee pick us up tomorrow morning. Seeing that I insisted, Father had no choice but to agree. After my parents left, I comforted Yi Qingran in the hospital bed. Get some rest. You won't have to work yourself to the bone anymore. You won't have to go without dinner either. And no one will throw you out again. From today on, we are your family. At my gentle voice, Yi Qingran pressed her lips together. Okay. That night, she slept soundly. The next morning, Father sent the driver early to take Yi Qingran home. The downtown hospital was not far from Lincheng High School, so I simply walked to school. As fate would have it, Yuyan had the Yi family driver pick up Han Tianhao on the way that day. I happened to see the two of them holding hands. I had planned to pretend I did not see them, but Han Tianhao called out to me, "Xiaoyu, why are you walking to school today?" Han Tianhao held Yuyan's hand and walked up to me as if showing off. "Xiaoyu, walking to school must be tiring. You probably do not live far away anyway. From now on, Yuyan can have the driver pick us both up for school." "No thanks. My home is not on the way from Yuyan's." I could not be bothered with either of them. As I turned to leave, Yuyan called after me, "Guyu, Tianhao is being kind." What is that attitude? He means well, but I do not accept his kindness. Is that enough? I walked straight past them. Han Tianhao's aggrieved voice rang out. I was only trying to be kind. Did Xiaoyu misunderstand me? I should explain it to him. You're my boyfriend, Tianhao. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. But I did take away the person Xiaoyu liked. HMPH, Tianhao. You're just a vicious man like Guyu. Isn't worth feeling guilty over. Listening to Yuyan and Han Tianhao's conversation, I was utterly disgusted. At last, I stopped and walked back to them. Under everyone's watchful eyes, I took the water bottle from my backpack and splashed its water straight at Han Tianhao. Seeing Han Tianhao being bullied, Yuyan furiously snapped, "Guyu, what are you doing? Now, you don't have to feel guilty anymore." With that, I turned and left. Yuyan wanted to lash out, but the school guard happened to come out. My splashing water on Han Tianhao at the school gate instantly became the talk of the school. Even my classmates began looking at me differently. But with finals approaching, no one wanted trouble. Junior year coursework was demanding enough already. In the end, it became nothing more than break time gossip. Only 3 days remained until finals. The classroom was tense during lunch break. Since coming to the Gu family, Qingran had been in much better spirits. Even her monthly test scores had become exceptionally good. Qingran had already ranked in the top 5 before, but now she held firmly to first place. With Qingran's help, my grades had also stabilized in the top 10 in our grade. Talk about the Yi family never stopped in class. The news that the Yi family was nearing bankruptcy had finally become impossible to hide. Have you heard the Yi family is about to go bankrupt? You're making that up. How could the Yi family go bankrupt? The Yi family is one of Linqing's wealthiest families. It's true. I heard it from my dad. Before Yuyan's father died, he racked up huge debts. The Yi family's business has been struggling ever since. They have been nearly broke for a long time. Just then, Han Tianhao walked into the classroom. Lately, he and Yuyan had been brazenly sneaking out of school to date. Skipping class had become routine for them. When Zhou Kai saw Han Tianhao enter, he immediately went over to gossip. "Tianhao, Missy's family is about to go bankrupt. Did you know?" "Bankrupt?" "Yuyan just took me to a dealership to look at cars. She said that when I turn 18 next year, she'll give me a Mercedes. If they were nearly bankrupt, would she casually buy me a car?" That's what I thought. With the Yi family's vast fortune, how could they possibly go bankrupt? Soon. The people around them looked at Han Tianhao with envy again. When they heard Yuyan was buying Han Tianhao a car, they all crowded around him. The noise was getting on my nerves, so I grabbed my practice papers and left the classroom. Only after Zhou Kai saw me leave did he say, "Guyu has been picked up and dropped off in cars lately. Who knows where he gets the money to keep switching luxury cars? Isn't he the student on financial aid? Could his family actually be loaded? No way. If he isn't on financial aid, then who is the student on financial aid in our grade?" Hearing the others talk, Han Tianhao feared they would become suspicious of him. He spoke with feigned calm. "I heard Guyu's father is a driver for some wealthy family. His father's employer has been away on business lately, so he gets to use the luxury cars for rides. So that's what it is. I was wondering why Guyu always used to walk to school, but suddenly started getting rides in luxury cars. So, his father is using his boss's car to pick him up. What a joke. I thought Guyu was somebody important. Turns out it was all an act." Seeing the other students sneer at me, Han Tianhao began to panic. He couldn't let anyone find out that he was the only student in their grade on financial aid. Otherwise, everything he had painstakingly built at school would be ruined. I worked seriously through practice questions in the reading corner. A bottle of milk suddenly appeared before me. When I looked up, I saw it was Qingran. "Milk. Mrs. Gu asked me to bring it to you." I naturally took the milk from her. "When did my mom give it to you?" "How come I didn't know?" "Since Qingran came to live with my family, we had gone to and from school together every day. I clearly remembered leaving home with Qingran this morning. How could Mom have asked Qingran to give me milk? I quickly realized Qingran had saved up to buy it. I had skipped lunch, and my stomach was already growling with hunger. I looked at the bottle of milk hesitantly. I'm trying to lose weight. Isn't milk at lunch a bad idea? It's skim milk. You can drink it. At that, I eagerly stuck the straw into the bottle. The sweet, creamy taste left me deeply satisfied. Qingran, your grades are so good. Why were you in Class F before? If you were in Class A, we could study together every break. Qingran fell silent for a moment before speaking. You want me to transfer to Class A? I nodded as I drank my milk. Of course. Qingran said nothing. When she stayed silent, I assumed she did not want to return to Class A and face Yuyan. I was just saying, you don't have to return to Class A if you don't want to. I'll try. I froze at her words. I'll try to find a way back into Class A. Really? Yes, really. Before I could even celebrate, the bell-ending lunch break rang. Qingran gathered the books before me and said with a smile, "Class is starting. Let's go back and do some practice questions." I nodded. When I returned to the classroom, I saw Tianhao showing off to the other students again, bragging about some expensive gift Yuyan had bought him. When Tianhao's gaze landed on me, he gave me an unmistakably provocative look. I ignored him. The prouder Tianhao was now, the more he would regret it later. Tianhao had been too busy dating Yuyan, and had barely studied at all this past month. It did not show in everyday class, but once finals came, Tianhao would realize just how much schoolwork he had fallen behind on. In the blink of an eye, finals arrived 3 days later. Based on the previous monthly exam results, Qingran, Yuyan, and I, along with Tianhao, were assigned to the same exam room. This exam was harder than the last monthly test. I handled it with ease, finishing my paper 20 minutes early. Tianhao, however, was not doing nearly as well. After the exam, Tianhao's face was pale. Tianhao had once been the class heartthrob, and his grades had been excellent. That was why the other students all wanted to be his friends. Just as usual, everyone brought their answers to compare with Tianhao's. Normally, Tianhao would patiently compare answers with them, but this time, Tianhao was quick to his feet. "I'm not feeling well. I'm going to the restroom." Seeing that Tianhao was unwell, Yuyan hurried over anxiously to ask how he was. One look at Tianhao told me I had guessed right. In these final exams, Tianhao must not have done well. The final exam results were released 3 days later. Qingran shot straight to first place in the grade. With Qingran's tutoring, I also ranked third in the grade. Tianhao, who had once ranked near the top, plummeted to below 50th place. Yuyan's ranking also fell to 20th in the grade. At the front of the classroom, the homeroom teacher's gaze settled on Tianhao, her tone turning colder. "Tianhao, have your parent come in before you leave at noon." Tianhao's face went pale at that. "Ms. Li, my dad is usually very busy. He may not have time to come." "What about your mother?" When the homeroom teacher mentioned his mother, Tianhao's expression worsened. As Tianhao said nothing, the others did not know what was going on. But I did. Tianhao's parents had divorced long ago. His father had raised him alone. But before his classmates and teacher, Tianhao could hardly admit that his parents were divorced. The homeroom teacher sighed helplessly when Tianhao remained silent. "Tianhao, your grades have dropped drastically. Your guardian is responsible too. No matter how busy your parent is, they must come at noon." With that, the homeroom teacher began assigning summer homework, giving Tianhao no chance to argue. At the thought of his father, a driver, coming to school, Tianhao became deeply uneasy. If his classmates found out he was the only student in our grade on financial aid, then what he had done to frame Guyu would surely be exposed. At noon, the other students packed up and went home for summer break. But Zhou Kai and the others stayed behind. Yuyan remained right by Tianhao's side. It made Tianhao frantic. Tianhao had told his father to come at 12:30. He had wanted to wait until Yuyan and the other students had left, so no one would discover who his father was. But Yuyan was worried about him, and insisted on staying until the teacher finished lecturing him. Zhou Kai and the others had the same reason. They wanted to stay and comfort Tianhao. What they did not realize was, Tianhao did not need comfort right now. He only needed them to leave as soon as possible. Otherwise, his enormous lie would be impossible to hide. I deliberately packed the practice papers in my desk at a snail's pace. Outside the classroom, Qingran saw that only Yuyan and the others were still there, so she walked in. Yi Qingran came to my side, ready to help me pack my bag. But I held down Yi Qingran's hand and gave her a meaningful look. After living with the Gu family for some time, Yi Qingran quickly understood what I was planning. She simply pulled over a chair and sat beside me. Didn't you say there was a question you could not solve today? I'll teach you now. I had been wondering how to find an excuse to stay and watch the show. Since Yi Qingran had given me such a perfect excuse, I quickly pulled out a worksheet and pointed to a random problem. This one. Yi Qingran took the textbook and looked it over unhurriedly. Meanwhile, Han Tianhao, seated nearby, was already beside himself with anxiety. It was bad enough that Yuyan and Zhou Kai had not left. Why had Guyu and Yi Qingran stayed too? The clock hand in the classroom had already reached 3. Han Tianhao finally could not hold it in any longer. Yuyan, Zhou Kai, you should go home. I'll be fine on my own. No. I'm staying here with you. If that old hag, Ms. Li, dares to bully you, she'll have to answer to me. Yeah, Tianhao. We're all here. Don't be scared. Your grades only slipped a little. Is that really worth calling in a parent? Seeing that Zhou Kai and the others would not leave, Han Tianhao could only try to persuade Yuyan first. Yuyan, you should go first. My dad does not approve of me dating this young. I'm afraid he'll get angry if he sees you. Okay, message me when you get home. Han Tianhao nodded. At that moment, he could not wait for Yuyan to leave. Before leaving, Yuyan made Zhou Kai and the others promise to take good care of Han Tianhao. Seeing how much Yuyan cared for Han Tianhao, Zhou Kai and the others looked envious. Seeing me doing problems at the front, Zhou Kai pretended I could not hear and deliberately spoke up. Miss Yi treats our Tianhao so well. I heard Miss Yi is already planning to propose. Tianhao, the Han family runs a major corporation. You two will probably get engaged after graduation, right? I don't know about that. How could you not know? I heard lots of wealthy heirs get engaged right after high school. They only wait until they are old enough to marry. Tianhao, Miss Yi loves you so much. She would never bear to let you study abroad alone. Maybe the Yi family will even approach the Hans first about the marriage. Exactly. Our Tianhao is handsome, has a great personality, and is the young master of the Han family. He and Miss Yi are a perfect match. How could Miss Yi bear to let our Tianhao study abroad alone? She will definitely go with you someday. Watching their eager faces, Han Tianhao seemed to picture himself marrying into the Yi family. I sneered inwardly at their words. 3 years after we graduated high school, there was a class reunion. By then, Han Tianhao had returned from studying abroad. He was also dating a wealthy older foreign woman. The two became engaged soon after. Yuyan was there too. When she heard that Han Tianhao was engaged, Yuyan showed no concern for my dignity. Her eyes immediately reddened. She even chased after Han Tianhao. She wanted to speak with him alone. By then, I was already Yuyan's husband. Because of what Yuyan did, I was utterly humiliated at that reunion. Later, the Yi family business grew ever larger. Yuyan became one of Linqing's leading business magnates. And it was at that time that Han Tianhao's wife committed suicide by jumping from a building after her business failed. Only then did he return home and rekindle things with Yuyan. And so she could divorce me without trouble. Yuyan had me locked in a psychiatric hospital, thinking of everything from my past life. The pencil in my hand suddenly snapped. Yi Qingran watched me in silence. My movement also caught Zhou Kai and the others' attention. Well, what's this? Someone can't stomach hearing that, huh? Our Tianhao is destined for a life of wealth and privilege. Guyu, don't be jealous. Maybe in your next life, if you're born into a rich family, Miss Yi might take a liking to you. The people around me made no effort to hide their mockery. But Yi Qingran could not tolerate it. She rose and walked straight up to Zhou Kai. Then she kicked Zhou Kai's desk. The students who had just been jeering instantly fell silent. Just then, a middle-aged man's voice sounded outside the classroom. Is this class 1? The man was around 40. He was well-proportioned but looked weathered. A few strands of his hair had already turned gray. He was dressed like a driver. The sneakers on his feet were worn out. His hands were especially rough. If I was not mistaken, this man was Han Tianhao's father. Han Tianhao had not expected his father to arrive so soon. Before he could figure out what to say, Zhou Kai beside him asked in confusion, "Who are you?" Every other student sized up Father Han. Han Tianhao's father gave them an honest, good-natured smile. "I'm Han. He's our family's driver." Han Tianhao blurted it out in a panic. He hurried to Father Han's side. Under Father Han's puzzled gaze, he said, "My dad is busy and has no time, so he sent our driver instead." So he's the Han family's driver. I knew Chairman Han would never dress like that. That makes sense. Tianhao's father is the president of the Han group. He's swamped with work every day. How could he possibly find time to come to school? Zhou Kai and the other students chimed in one after another, making Han Tianhao smile awkwardly. Father Han, standing beside him, clearly understood. His son had been bragging to his classmates, pretending to be the Han family's young master. He tugged at Han Tianhao. Tianhao, how could you? Insolent. Who gave you permission to call me by name? You're nothing but a driver for the Han family. If you dare disrespect me again, I'll throw you out of the Han household. Exactly. A lowly driver dares to put his hands on his boss's son? He should know his place. Father Han's face darkened. Han Tianhao feared that if they stayed any longer, his true identity as not being the Han family's young master would be exposed. He immediately shoved Father Han along. The teacher is waiting in the office. Get going. Seeing the panic on his son's face, Father Han knew his son feared his classmates would expose him. Though he disapproved of what Han Tianhao was doing, for the sake of his son's life at school, he could only nod and bow as he slunk away. Zhou Kai spoke indignantly. Tianhao, your driver has no manners at all. He must think that, because he has worked for the Han family so long, he can throw his weight around. Han Tianhao listened as his classmates scorned and looked down on his father. His smile was painfully forced. As for me, pretending to work on problems nearby, I smiled as I watched the spectacle unfold. What are you laughing at? It's entertaining. What's entertaining about it? You wouldn't understand. But I expect you will someday. Watching Han Tianhao panic at the thought of being exposed, I felt utterly satisfied. I wondered, when Han Tianhao's lies were exposed, how he would get himself out of it. Half an hour passed. Father Han emerged from the office with a dark expression. When Han Tianhao saw his father's face, his own face went pale, but Zhou Kai and the others were still nearby. Han Tianhao could only force himself to stay calm as he walked over to Father Han. Everything's settled, right? Then hurry up and get me out of here. He was desperate to get Father Han away, but Zhou Kai actually stepped forward at that moment. Mr. Driver, our Tianhao simply did not do well on this test. You know what to say in front of your boss, right? Father Han said nothing. Thinking Father Han did not know his place, Zhou Kai immediately added, Missy told us to take good care of Tianhao. If you dare tell anyone about this, forget about us. Even Missy will not let you off. Zhou Kai thought his threat had landed, but I nearly burst out laughing in the classroom. Well, this was perfect. Not only had his falling grades brought in his father, now his teenage romance could not be hidden either. Han Tianhao had no way to explain himself. He hurriedly pushed Father Han forward. Enough. I need to get home. Go start the car. Father Han was barely holding back his rage. He shoved Han Tianhao aside and slapped him. The slap left half of Han Tianhao's face burning with pain. Zhou Kai was instantly stunned. Are you crazy? Our Tianhao is the young master. You're just a driver. Who gave you the nerve to lay a hand on Tianhao? Because I am. Enough. In a panic, Han Tianhao suddenly slapped Father Han back. Father Han was caught completely off guard by the blow. He staggered back several steps. Han Tianhao arrogantly raised his chin, his voice full of warning. This is school. You dare hit me in front of all these classmates? I know my father gave you permission to discipline me, but you're only a driver for the Han family. Do not think you can truly punish me. Now hurry up and get the car. Do you want everyone here laughing at the Han family? Every word Han Tianhao said reminded Father Han that this was school, and classmates were all around them. Seeing this, despite his fury, Father Han could only storm away. Inside the classroom, I craned my neck to see what was happening outside, but Qingran packed all my worksheets into my backpack. When I came back to myself, I found my desk had already been cleared and tidied. Qingran tapped me on the head. You've seen enough. Let's go home. The two of us left the classroom one after the other. Summer vacation arrived. Qingran made a special summer schedule for me. After more than 2 months of hard work, I had successfully slimmed down to 143 pounds. Summer vacation was the best time for a final push. By August, summer vacation was nearly over. One day, the class group chat suddenly became lively. I saw that in the group chat, Han Tianhao enthusiastically invited everyone to the mountain resort to escape the summer heat. Everyone became interested when they heard they could visit the resort. When I saw the message, my lips curled into a smile. It seemed Han Tianhao feared that Father Han's visit to school last time had made his classmates question his identity. So he had deliberately found a chance to prove he was the Han family's young master. He had also chosen his words carefully. He He only said he was inviting everyone to the resort for the summer, without saying the resort belonged to his family. That would spare him plenty of trouble later. I rolled over in bed, then ran to Qingran's room next door. I did not knock. When I pushed open the door, Qingran was leaning by the window, reading. I asked with a grin, Qingran, are you free the day after tomorrow? I have plans. Tianhao from my class is inviting everyone to a mountain resort for the summer. Do you want to come with me? The moment she heard Tianhao's name, the smile vanished from Qingran's face. You're really not coming? No. There will be a good show. I'm not even in class A. You go. Be careful on the way. Seeing Qingran was not interested, I did not press her. Just as I turned to leave, Qingran suddenly spoke. Send me the address. You changed your mind. No. If it gets too late, I can ask Uncle Lee to pick you up. Hearing that, I nodded. All right. I got it. I had wanted to take Qingran along to watch the show, but she was not interested at all. So I would have to enjoy it alone. The day after tomorrow soon arrived. The resort was in the mountains outside the city. They called it a resort, but it was really a huge villa with a courtyard. The other classmates had already arrived. Tianhao was dressed in casual loungewear, as if he lived there year-round. He welcomed his classmates into the living room. Make yourselves at home. Do not be shy. It was Zhou Kai and the others' first time seeing such a massive villa. For a moment, they were just stunned to speak. Tianhao, your house is huge. Yeah, Tianhao. Do you not usually live here? This is unbelievably luxurious. Everyone marveled nonstop. Though many students in Class A came from wealthy families, at most, they lived in upscale apartments or small suburban villas. Compared with the Han family, they were worlds apart. Tianhao merely smiled and said nothing. By the way, Tianhao, where is Miss He? Why did Miss He not come with you? Tianhao slipped both hands into his pockets. Yuyan will be here soon. Let us have fun first. Is everyone here? I feel like someone is still missing. Guyu, right? Guyu has not arrived yet. Guyu got Tianhao and Miss He caught dating, and their parents were called in. He is probably too ashamed to show up. Not necessarily. He has liked Miss He for 2 years. How could he pass up any chance to get close to her? Mocking laughter rose all around me. Just then, the doorbell outside the courtyard rang. Zhou Kai was the first to get up. Miss He must be here. I will get the door. Zhou Kai eagerly went to answer it. But the instant he opened the door, he saw a strikingly handsome young man. Zhou Kai froze. Who are you? I am Guyu. Guyu. Hearing this, Tianhao walked over. Zhou Kai, why are you taking so long? Although Zhou Kai was his best friend, Tianhao still feared he might steal his girl. But when Tianhao came over, he looked up and saw my handsome face. He paused in surprise, not recognizing who stood before him. I spoke first. Tianhao, have you forgotten me already? As he stared at me, the smile on Tianhao's face instantly froze. I glanced inside. What? Are you not going to invite me in? Seeing that neither Tianhao nor Zhou Kai spoke, I simply wheeled my suitcase inside. By the time Tianhao and Zhou Kai came to their senses, I was already in the living room. The girls from our class had been chatting and laughing. But when they looked up, they saw a handsome young man wheeling a suitcase inside. The girls were practically dumbstruck. When had their class gotten such a handsome guy? Tianhao ran in after me. Guyu, you. When everyone heard Tianhao call the handsome man Guyu, someone asked in disbelief. Guyu? You are saying this is Guyu? You have got to be kidding. How could he be Guyu? At first, no one in class believed it, but after studying my face closely, they found my features faintly resembled how I used to look. Guyu, it really is Guyu. When everyone saw that I had successfully lost weight, their faces filled with amazement. Only Tianhao looked unhappy. He never expected me to lose the weight in just one summer. If Yuyan saw Guyu like this, would she start seeing Guyu differently too? It has been a long time, everyone. My parents went on a business trip recently, so I specially brought you all some little gifts. I hope you like them. With that, I opened my suitcase. It was filled with imported watches, expensive electronics, and some exquisite designer jewelry. When the classmates saw them, they practically rushed over. Wow, these are luxury brand watches. Guyu, your parents went abroad on business. Is this bracelet not a limited edition? I heard it is really expensive, and this game console costs several thousand. They completely forgot that Tianhao was hosting today. Looking at the suitcase full of gifts worth 6 figures, Tianhao's expression darkened further. I looked at Tianhao and Zhou Kai. Tianhao, Zhou Kai, come pick one too. When Zhou Kai first saw what was in the suitcase, his eyes lit up, but he quickly remembered that Han Tianhao had said my father was only a driver, and that my family did not have much money. How could he bring back such expensive gifts from a business trip? Zhou Kai spoke dismissively. What is there to pick? They are all high-quality fakes anyway. Zhou Kai, Guyu is being thoughtful. What nonsense are you talking about? Exactly. You can tell these are genuine. How could they be fake? They even have foreign lettering and authenticity labels. Zhou Kai, do not go around slandering people. Everyone changed their tune quickly. Zhou Kai was starting to waver. Meanwhile, I was already sitting on a nearby sofa, watching everyone happily choose their gifts. Seeing Han Tianhao hesitate to step forward, I smiled and said, Tianhao, does your family own this resort? It looks enormous. My seemingly casual question put Han Tianhao in an impossible spot, because this resort was not his at all. It was merely a villa the Han family rarely visited. The only reason he got the keys this time was that the entire Han family had gone abroad on vacation. He had his father, who worked as a driver, use the housekeeper's connections to borrow the keys. But now, everyone's eyes were fixed on Han Tianhao. Seeing all the expensive gifts I had brought, Han Tianhao could only force himself to say, Yes, it is my family's. Such a large villa. Why is there not even a housekeeper? My next question left Han Tianhao unable to answer. Getting the keys to this villa had already been difficult enough. Where was he supposed to find a housekeeper to? The other students found it strange as well. Yeah, Tianhao, there is no housekeeper or security guard. Who normally takes care of such a huge villa? Han Tianhao quickly came up with an excuse. Well, since you were all coming over, I gave them the day off. I was afraid they would ruin everyone's fun. Seeing Han Tianhao find an excuse, I pretended to look troubled and said, But we are all starving. Without a housekeeper, who is going to cook for us? Of course, I will cook for everyone myself. Han Tianhao was quite confident in his cooking. Seeing that no one objected, I smiled and continued. It would be wonderful to have Tianhao cook for us himself. I hear families behind major corporations like the Hans eat sea cucumber and abalone every day, along with imported Wagyu beef and foie gras. I have wanted to try them for ages, Tianhao. We came all this way. You must have prepared all of that for us, right? Sea cucumber, abalone, Wagyu beef, and foie gras. Where was he supposed to get those? Before Han Tianhao could answer, the others chimed in. Yeah, Tianhao, Guyu prepared so many gifts for us. We want to try those delicacies too. You are not going to be stingy, are you? What are you talking about? Tianhao is the Han family's eldest son. It is only one meal. Why would he be reluctant? It is not like those things are rare. Right, Tianhao. At that, Han Tianhao went pale. This time, he had only prepared some skewers. He had planned to grill them over charcoal outside that night, but I had suddenly put him on such a high pedestal. How was he supposed to respond? When Han Tianhao said nothing, I simply stood up. Tianhao must have prepared it all. Let me take a look. Let us see what delicious things are waiting in the kitchen. With that, I headed for the kitchen. Han Tianhao immediately stopped me. He forced a smile. Of course, I prepared something for everyone who came all this way. But the ingredients are still on the way. If we are eating, naturally it should be as fresh as possible. Right, everyone? At the prospect of a lavish meal, the students eagerly nodded. But I raised an eyebrow. Where would fresh seafood come from this deep in the mountains? Han Tianhao clearly had not prepared anything. I wanted to see how Han Tianhao would get himself out of this. While no one was paying attention, Han Tianhao walked out into the yard. He quickly called Yuyan. Yuyan sounded irritated when she answered. What is it? Yuyan, when you come over later, could you bring some abalone and sea cucumber? You did not prepare abalone and sea cucumber? Everyone suddenly said they wanted abalone and sea cucumber, plus Wagyu beef and foie gras. I have no idea where to find them. So, Yuyan fell silent for a moment. I will figure something out. A flicker of delight crossed Han Tianhao's eyes. Thank you, Yuyan. Without you, I really would not know what to do. Han Tianhao only wanted to quickly dispel everyone's doubts. He did not notice anything unusual about Yuyan's mood. Not far away, I leaned against the doorway, watching Han Tianhao secretly call Yuyan from the yard. I raised an eyebrow and smiled. I thought Han Tianhao had come up with some clever plan. Turns out, he was asking Yuyan for help. In the past, Yuyan could have solved all of Han Tianhao's problems with a wave of her hand. But things were different now. The Gu Corporation had withdrawn its investment. The Yi family was on the brink of collapse. The Yi family no longer had the money for Yuyan to keep bankrolling Han Tianhao. Just then, my phone rang. When I saw the caller ID, my lips curled slightly. Even heaven was helping me. I answered the call. Xiaoyu, are you free today? Annie Yi, do you need something? I've missed you so much. I would like to treat you to a meal today. Could you come by the house for a visit? Hearing Mother Yi's tone, I immediately understood her little scheme. I glanced at Han Tianhao, still waiting for Yuyan in the yard. Is Yuyan there too? Of course. Yuyan misses you too. She offended you before, and she has felt terrible about it ever since. Today, I will have her apologize to you properly. Is that so? Fine, then, see you shortly. So soon? Yes, I have something else to do tonight. Let us have lunch instead. I will be there shortly. But, what is it, Annie? Is that difficult? Then forget it. No, not at all. It is no trouble whatsoever. Then I will start cooking right away. I will wait for you. All right. I hung up, sneering inwardly. Mother Yi had always loved money more than life and excelled at scheming. Her hasty invitation this time meant something major must have happened to the Yi family. I was in no hurry. I turned and went back to the living room. It was already nearly 1 in the afternoon. Everyone was hungry. Han Tianhao was still staring anxiously outside, waiting for Yuyan to bring him the ingredients. Finally, someone could not hold back any longer. Tianhao, I am starving. When can we eat? Yeah, it is almost noon. Are we still getting that feast? People around us had begun to complain. Han Tianhao hurried to reassure them. Soon. It will definitely be soon. I will call and ask again. Han Tianhao took out his phone and immediately called Yuyan, but the line stayed busy. No one answered. Han Tianhao's expression grew even uglier. Seeing the timing was right, I stood up with a smile. Looks like the ingredients are not coming after all. I still have something to take care of at home. I will be leaving now. Have fun, everyone. My words immediately set the other students on edge. They had been here for hours, yet they had not even been offered a cup of hot tea. Han Tianhao tried to stop me, but I had already picked up my suitcase and waved goodbye to the others. Just then, a luxury car pulled up outside the gate. Everyone thought lunch had finally arrived, but to their surprise, Qingran stepped out of the car. Holding a parasol, Qingran walked over to me. Under the sunlight, Qingran and I looked like the perfect couple. Our classmates all stared in our direction. Why would Qingran come pick up Guyu herself? Could those two be dating? Who knows? But judging by Guyu's family circumstances, he does not look poor. How could he possibly be a poor student? The watches Guyu gives away casually cost 5 figures. The surrounding chatter rose one after another. Even Zhou Kai began to question my identity. Guyu does not seem like a driver's son. Tianhao, could you have gotten it wrong? Yeah, now that I look closely, Guyu is quite handsome now that he has lost weight. What do you mean, quite handsome? He is extremely handsome. The students chattered nonstop, making Han Tianhao feel deeply unsettled. He looked down at his phone, unable to understand why Yuyan would not answer his calls. He had no idea that, at the Yi residence, Yuyan was sitting in the living room, staring at the phone on the table. Mother Yi had lost count of how many times she had reheated the food. She said coldly, when Xiaoyu gets here, you had better fix your attitude. Mom, I do not like Guyu. I have a boyfriend. What boyfriend? Listen to me, Yuyan. Only Guyu should be the Yi family's son-in-law. Mother Yi snatched the phone from Yuyan's table. Then she glanced at the things Yuyan had secretly taken from home. Lobster, abalone, and sea cucumber. She spoke coldly. You had better break up with that little boyfriend of yours, and soon. At his age, he is already encouraging you to steal from your own home. How could he be a good person? Yuyan's face darkened at that. Mom, Tianhao is a good guy. I will not allow you to talk about him like that. What good guy? He only sees that our family has money and wants to marry into wealth. I have seen plenty of men like him. Only you would fall for someone like that. Our family is at the end of its rope now. The Gu family has withdrawn its investment. Your father's business is about to go under. If you still want to remain the Yi family's heiress, then you had better win Guyu over. Marrying him as soon as possible is the sensible thing to do. As Mother Yi was scolding Yuyan, a knock sounded at the door. Mother Yi quickly composed herself, put on a smile, and walked to the front door. But when she opened it, she did not find me there. It was my father's secretary. And you are? Mrs. Yi, I am terribly sorry. Our young master had something come up and could not make it. He specifically sent me to let you know. What? He is not coming. When she heard that I was not coming, Yuyan's anger ignited in an instant. We have waited at home for hours. The food has been reheated 3 times. It is long past the agreed time. Yet Guyu only sent a butler to say he was not coming. He is clearly doing this to humiliate us. Yuyan stood up and stormed out of the Yi residence. Yuyan, where are you going? Get back here. Yuyan ignored Mother Yi. She got into her car instead, floored the gas pedal, and sped straight for the Gu residence. Meanwhile, Qingran and I were having lunch at my home. Then Yuyan's shouts rang out from outside. Guyu, open the door. My parents were both at work, so only Qingran and I were home. I walked to the window and glanced at Yuyan, fuming outside the Gu villa. I raised an eyebrow and smiled. I clearly remember that in my past life, when the Yi family rose to power, the Gu family was the first one they targeted. The Gu family's business plummeted as a result. Back then, my parents tried to meet with Yuyan, but she had shut them out. Now she was finally getting a taste of it. The scorn and humiliation my parents suffered in my past life. Guyu, I know you are in there. Open the door. Yuyan was furious. Inside, Qingran had already gone to the landline. She pressed a button to call the Gu family's security guards. Someone is causing trouble. Please remove her. She hung up and returned to the dining table. Sit down and eat. I looked out the window and saw the Gu family guards restraining Yuyan by both arms. Though Yuyan fought desperately, they still shoved her to the ground. The guards said impatiently, Go, go, go. Get lost and stop causing trouble here. I am here to see Guyu. Tell him to come out and see me. Still not leaving. Leave now, or we will call the police. When had Yuyan ever suffered such humiliation? Her face immediately turned ugly. I am the Yi family's heiress. Who gave you the nerve to treat me this way? The Yi family. They are not even fit to shine the Gu family's shoes. Besides, your family is about to go bankrupt. Did you not know that, miss? In a few days, you will be living on nothing but air. News of the Yi family's troubles had long spread through their circle. Nearly every guard working in the villa district knew about it. Yuyan's expression turned icy. What nonsense are you talking about? Looks like Miss Yi does not know yet. The Yi family owes a great deal of money. If the Gu family had not propped up so many of their projects, they would have gone bankrupt long ago. Your Yi family repaid kindness with betrayal first, yet you still have the nerve to come looking for our young master. Throwing you out is already more courtesy than you deserve. The guard's words were like grinding Yuyan's pride into the dirt. She remembered what Mother Yi had told her today, that the Yi family was at the end of its rope. She had thought Mother Yi only said it to make her marry me, deliberately exaggerating how dire their situation was. She never expected it was all true. I suggest you save your strength. Rather than coming to find our young master, you should think about how to hold on to your position as the Yi family's heiress. With that, the 2 guards slammed shut the iron gates outside the Gu residence. Yuyan clenched her fist. Well played, Guyu. Well played, Gu family. You've really taken things this far. Seething with resentment, Yuyan got into her car and left. As I watched her drive away, a deep sense of satisfaction rose within me. You cannot bear even this little humiliation. The hard days ahead are still to come. When my parents came home that evening, that Yuyan, she actually had the nerve to come to our home and make a scene. I tried to calm him down. Dad, do not be angry if it bothers you. Next time we can hang a sign at our front gate. It will say, Yuyan and dogs are not allowed inside. Only then did father's expression soften slightly. You rascal, all you know is how to stir up trouble. But the Yi family has truly gone too far. How could they do this? I treated Yuyan so well before. Yet Yuyan turned out to be such an ungrateful wretch. Seeing that everyone's emotions had built up enough, I spoke up. Mom, Dad, I remember Uncle Yi holds shares in the Gu family. And our Gu family also owns shares in the Yi family, right? That is correct. I heard from my classmates that the Yi family has been in serious trouble lately. I was thinking, now that ties between our families have been severed, why not contact a lawyer and buy back the Gu family shares the Yi family holds? It could be considered helping them out. But in return, the Gu family's shares in the Yi group should be returned to them as well. I knew my father had a soft heart. Though he could currently steel himself against helping the Yi group, he might soften again later. Moreover, with the Gu family shares the Yi family held, the Yi family received 8-figure yuan dividends every month. That undoubtedly gave the Yi family room to breathe. What I wanted was for the Yi family to never have a chance to rise again, to let them taste the misery of being utterly penniless. Father carefully considered it, just as I expected. You are right. The two families have no relationship anymore. We should settle the business matters as well. Seeing Father agree, I finally felt a weight lift from my heart. When the Yi family ran into trouble in the future, I could not let Dad's investment in the Yi family become a net loss. Getting the money for those shares back now would limit our losses. It would also let us cut ties with the Yi group completely. Besides, I remembered from my past life, the Yi family's crisis was far more than simple bankruptcy. They were drowning in debt. But back then, I had already married Yuyan, and the Gu and Yi families held shares in each other's companies. The Gu family had no choice but to bleed money to help the Yi family through it. In this life, Yuyan would likely have to rely on herself. At the table, Qingran remained silent. I noticed she seemed a little downcast. She rarely wore such an expression. Qingran, are you upset? Do you care about the Yi family that much? In a way, I do care quite a bit. Only, I care about when the Yi family will go bankrupt, and when Yi Yuyan will be utterly ruined. But I could not voice what was truly in my heart. I looked at her, puzzled. Why would you suddenly say that? Are you worried about the Yi family, or Yi Yuyan? Seeing how serious Qingran looked, I suddenly laughed. I do not care about the Yi family, and I do not care about Yi Yuyan either. I only care that our Gu family is not dragged into this, and that we are not swindled out of money. Do not worry. I know the Yi family treated you badly before. There is no way I would pity them. Qingran, I will always stand by your side. Qingran froze at my words. It took her a long while to come back to herself. You will always stand by my side. Of course. What does she have to do with me? You used to like her a lot. You said it yourself. That was before. People need to move forward. I did like her before, but I do not anymore. Then who do you like now? I like my family, and myself. Just as Qingran lowered her eyes, I walked over, took her hand and held it. Of course, you are family too. At those words, Qingran suddenly felt her heart skip a beat. Family, but she did not want to be his family. Meanwhile, at the summer retreat, Tianhao was cleaning up the mess alone. Not only had all their classmates left by noon, but Yuyan had also stood him up, making him lose face before everyone. Even Zhou Kai made an excuse to leave that evening. The more Tianhao thought about it, the worse he felt. Unwilling to give up, he took out his phone and called Yuyan again. Unlike before, Yuyan answered this time. Tianhao. Tianhao did not hear the exhaustion in Yuyan's voice. Instead, he spoke angrily. Yuyan, you have ignored my calls all day. What have you been doing? Do you have any idea how much you humiliated me in front of our classmates? If you do not explain yourself today, we are breaking up. Ever since Tianhao and Yuyan began dating, Tianhao had constantly threatened to break up. That tactic had always worked well on Yuyan. Whenever Tianhao pretended to be angry and threatened to leave her, Yuyan would patiently comfort him. But this time, Yuyan remained silent on the other end of the call. Tianhao's heart sank. Realizing something was wrong, he immediately reined in his emotions. Yuyan, I am sorry. I was too angry. I do not really want to break up. Are you okay? After a long silence, Yuyan's weary voice finally came through. Tianhao, we should take a few days to cool off. Yuyan hung up. Tianhao's face instantly darkened. What on earth had happened in just one day? The next day, news that Yuyan and Tianhao had fought had spread through the entire class. Yuyan had always been very public about her love, yet she changed her matching profile picture with Tianhao last night. What was more, people also linked it to Yuyan standing Tianhao up yesterday, and that story spread as well. Tianhao, who had been active in the class group chat, did not say a word all day. I was not surprised by this outcome, and for me right now, studying mattered more than gossip. That evening, Father came home with a troubled expression. Mother looked worried. Did things not go well at the company today? Why do you look so upset? The Yi family came by again today, asking to see me. I turned them away. Xiao Yu mentioned buying back shares and withdrawing our investment last night, but I do not know how to bring it up to them. We have known each other for over a decade. After all, in my past life, Mrs. Yi saw clearly how soft-hearted Father was, so she repeatedly came to the Gu family for help. In the end, if our Gu family did not help, we were branded as heartless and ungrateful, and regarded as worse than beast. I spoke up then. Dad, Why not let the lawyer and me handle this? What does a kid like you know about selling or buying back shares? Dad, I am already 17. I am not a child anymore. I may not understand selling or buying back shares, but the lawyer does. I will just go persuade Annie to return our shares. I promise I will not cause trouble. Seeing how serious I was, father sighed. All right, go and give it a try. Remember, it is fine if we lose a little money. Do not let people say we are heartless. At that, I laughed bitterly to myself. Has our Gu family not been loyal enough? We have done more than enough for the Yi family over the years. But the Yi family are a pack of ungrateful wolves. They do not deserve such generosity from the Gu family. This time, I would not stop until the Yi family was so broke they did not even have money left for a wedding. The next day, I took the lawyer to their door. Mrs. Yi was already on edge over the Yi Group's recent stock market crash. When the doorbell rang, she assumed debt collectors had come. She opened the door impatiently, knocking on my door so early in the morning. Did I not say the money would be repaid? As soon as Mrs. Yi finished speaking, she looked up and saw me standing there. You are Annie Yi. I am Guyu. When she realized it was me, Mrs. Yi's mouth hung open in shock. It had only been a few months. How had Guyu, that former fat boy, changed so much? Xiaoyu. It really is Xiaoyu. It is me. Something held me up last time, so I came especially to visit you this time. Annie Yi, you are not angry with me, are you? Mrs. Yi beamed. Why would I be angry with you? Come on, come in, Xiaoyu. You are getting more handsome by the day. I almost did not recognize you. With that, Mrs. Yi warmly ushered me inside. Xiaoyu, did you come to see Yuyan? I will call her and have her come back right away. Who knows where that girl ran off to have fun? I will give her a good talking to later. Mrs. Yi happily poured me some tea. No need to trouble yourself, Annie. I did not come to see Yuyan this time. I came to see you. Me. I glanced at the lawyer beside me. This is the Gu Group's lawyer. We came to discuss buying back shares from you. Buying back shares? Mrs. Yi's heart skipped a beat. She feared I was trying to take the Yi family's money. My father heard the Yi Group has been short on funds recently. He remembered the Yi Group still held shares in the Gu Group. So he specifically sent the lawyer here to purchase the Yi Group's shares in the Gu Group at a high price and help the Yi Group through this difficult time. My words sounded pleasant, but what I really meant was that we were cutting ties. Mrs. Yi hesitated. The Yi family did owe a great deal of money now. If they could not repay it in time, the Yi family's house would likely be auctioned off. But if she gave up the Gu Group shares, her family would have no income at all in the future. Mrs. Yi lowered her stance. Xiaoyu, since you brought this up, Annie has a favor to ask you too. After Yuyan's father passed away, we survived thanks to the Gu family's care. But the Yi family is truly at its lowest point now. I wonder if Mr. Gu would be willing to lend us a hand and loan us some money. I promise, once the Yi Group recovers, we will repay it immediately. Your family also owns shares in the Yi Group. Once the Yi Group has money, the dividends paid to the Gu family will be greater too. Looking at Mrs. Yi's earnest expression, I sneered inwardly. Annie, how much does the Yi family need to get through this crisis? When I asked, Mrs. Yi immediately replied that they still needed 1 billion yuan. Just 1 billion more, and the Yi family can weather this crisis. Hearing that figure, I pretended to be troubled. Another 1 billion? Fearing I would refuse, Mrs. Yi hurriedly grasped my hand. Xiaoyu, you are a good boy. Your father is a good man too. A widowed mother and her daughter like us truly have no other way. Without this 1 billion, we may end up homeless on the streets. Mrs. Yi knew I was as soft-hearted as my father. Now, through tears, she poured out all her recent suffering. I know Yuyan did not know what was good for her before. I have already lectured her. Do not worry. You are the only son-in-law Annie will ever acknowledge, Xiaoyu. When you marry Yuyan someday, you will be my son-in-law. The Yi and Gu families will still be one family. Listening to Mother Yi's nauseating words, I could not help pulling my hand away. Auntie, we were family once. Why would you say that? But 1 billion is indeed a huge sum. The Gu family, even if we have some money, cannot possibly come up with 1 billion all at once. Mrs. Yi began to panic. Then, what are we supposed to do? Without 1 billion, in just a few days, those debt collectors will auction off our house. I reassured Mother Yi. Annie, do not panic. Though we cannot provide the 1 billion, you can. I do not have 1 billion. Where would I get it? Annie, you hold 5% of the Gu family's shares. It may not be much, but it is worth at least 7 or 800 million yuan. The Yi family needs money now. Those 5% shares do pay monthly dividends, but they cannot solve an urgent problem. For the sake of our family's past relationship, I will make the decision myself. I will buy the Yi Group's 5% stake in the Gu Group for 1 billion. Then I will have my father find a way to sell those 5% shares. Even if our family loses a few hundred million yuan, at least we will have helped the Yi family. Well, after hearing me out, Mrs. Yi was suddenly tempted. That was an extra 2 or 300 million. Just like that. She would never find a deal this good elsewhere. Would your father agree to that? My father is soft-hearted. Leave the persuading to me, Annie. It will work. Seeing Mrs. Yi was still hesitant, unwilling to let go of that lucrative Gu Group stake, I continued. Annie, I am doing this for your own good. I hear debt collectors use all kinds of methods. If you cannot pay, they may even cut off your hands and feet. At the thought of severed hands and feet, Mrs. Yi's face went pale. Then I will transfer the shares right away. But when will the money arrive? Do not worry, Annie. There is one more thing you must agree to. What is it, Annie? My father sent me here with a task. I have done you such a huge favor, so please buy back the 5% of Yi Group shares held by the Gu Group. But your family is the one selling its shares. Right now, we really cannot come up with that much money. Annie, I have done the math. The Yi Group stock has plunged. The shares have lost more than half their value. At a time like this, buying back our family's 5% stake in the Yi Group would be the best bargain. Once the Yi Group rebounds, you can sell them again. Think about it carefully, Annie. The 5% of Yi Group shares our family held before were worth nearly 1 billion. Now that the Yi Group stock has crashed, that 5% stake is worth less than 200 million. No matter how you look at it, the Gu family is losing out. Besides, I just paid you an extra 300 million for your shares. Surely you will not refuse me this small favor? My calculations left Mrs. Yi rather confused. She was certainly shrewd, but she had no experience managing a company. That was why I could lead her around by the nose. That is true. I should do you this favor. Otherwise, I would be heartless. Mrs. Yi had hesitated about giving up the Gu Group shares, but buying back the Yi Group shares held by the Gu family was exactly what she wanted. After all, she could resell those shares later and make a profit. They would no longer have to pay monthly dividends to the Gu family either. Mrs. Yi patted my hand. I will get my personal seal and the original share agreement. Good boy. Wait here for me. I smiled and nodded. The moment Mrs. Yi left, my smile vanished, and I calmly took a sip of tea. Mr. Gu. The lawyer was about to ask a question, but I stopped him with a look. Only then did he dare not say another word. Soon, Mrs. Yi hurried out of the bedroom. We quickly finalized the contract. Once I had the original share agreement between the Gu and Yi families, a genuine smile finally spread across my face. That way, the Gu family would finally have no ties to the Yi family. Xiao Yu, what about the money? Do not worry, Annie. The money will arrive soon. But let us be clear beforehand. The Yi family is struggling right now. As for the 200 million you owe the Gu Group for buying back our shares, you may not be able to pay it immediately. Hearing this, Mrs. Yi nodded in complete agreement. So, I have two options. The first option is, we can deduct it from the 1 billion we are paying the Yi family. The second option is for the Yi family to owe us the 200 million for now. I will have the lawyer draft a contract. Just put up Yi Group assets of equal value as collateral. Collateral, then let us use collateral. Mrs. Yi chose the second option almost without hesitation. Exactly what I wanted. Very well. I looked at the lawyer behind me, laptop in hand. Have you drafted the contract we just discussed? It is ready. The lawyer took the contract he had just drafted on his computer and placed it before Mrs. Yi and me. Print it. If everything looks fine to you, Annie, we will sign it today. Then we can transfer the money to the Yi family sooner. Mrs. Yi nodded repeatedly. She did not know how to review contracts anyway. As long as she knew the terms were favorable to the Yi family, that was enough. I sipped my tea unhurriedly beside her. After Mrs. Yi reviewed it carefully, stamped it, and signed, a satisfied smile appeared on my face. Annie Yi, let us use the Yi family's 5 downtown properties and 3 cars as collateral. Though it still seems a little short, that is difficult. Seeing my hesitation, Mrs. Yi hurriedly spoke, afraid I would change my mind. I also have some jewelry I have been saving. It is all quite valuable. It is worth at least 20 million. Wait here. I will get it for you. I nodded at that. That should be enough. Lawyer Wang. Please make a note of it. Yes, Mr. Gu. Lawyer Wang quickly added everything Mrs. Yi had just mentioned to the contract terms. After Mrs. Yi signed and stamped it, I stood up. Once the official seal is affixed, we will immediately transfer the funds to the Yi Group's account. Xiao Yu, you're leaving already. Won't you wait for Yuyan to come back for dinner? No, thank you, Annie. With that, I left the Yi villa with Lawyer Wang. I was afraid that if I stayed 1 second longer, I would burst out laughing. Mr. Gu, was this really appropriate? What is inappropriate about it? All this time. How much money have we given the Yi family? It is time they paid us back. My expression remained calm. From now on, I will never let the Gu family make another losing deal. Nor will I let the Yi family take advantage of us for free. When I returned that evening, my father was still worried things had not gone well, especially after seeing Lawyer Wang's hesitant expression. My father sighed heavily. How much did we lose? Give me the full picture. We made 700 million. Lawyer Wang took out the agreement we had signed with Mrs. Yi that day. Then he handed it to my father. My father opened the contract, half believing it and half not. Let me see how you made 700 million. My father did not take it seriously at first, but the more he read, the stranger it seemed. Finally, he even put on his reading glasses, his face full of shock. Your Annie signed all of this? Yes. She wanted just 1 billion to sever ties with us. She not only returned the Yi family's stake in the Gu Group, but also mortgaged her houses and cars to us. Dad, it is written clearly in black and white in the contract. Would I lie to you? My father could not believe it. The Yi family's 5% stake in the Gu Group could easily sell for 1.5 billion on the open market. Yet the Yi family returned the shares for only 1 billion and put up so much collateral besides. It was simply unbelievable. What exactly is this collateral about? Dad, do we not own shares in the Yi Group? Annie Yi could not come up with the money for those shares right away. So I told Annie Yi to offer collateral of equal value. That way, she could owe the money for now. If she could not pay by the agreed deadline, we could auction off the collateral to recover our money. After hearing me out, my father was somewhat surprised. Whenever the Yi family owed us money before, they would only write a promissory note. There was not even a repayment date on it, because father had been friends with the Yi family for years. He never pressed them over the terms of their IOS. Over the past year, the Yi family had already borrowed tens of millions from us, and since they were a widow and her daughter, they always dodged repayment, claiming they could not afford it. My father never expected that I had actually persuaded Mrs. Yi to sign a collateral agreement this time. My mother, standing nearby, spoke up, but the Yi family's stock has crashed. Their 5% stake is not worth that much anymore. Why would she agree to put up so much collateral? Mom, the Yi family was once a prominent family after all. Annie Yi does not know much about finance. Naturally, she knows nothing about the stock market. I simply flattered the Yi family a little, and Annie Yi agreed. But, is that really all right? What is wrong with it? The Yi family has owed us a great deal of money this past year. That mother and daughter have no intention of repaying it. Today, Annie Yi even showed me all her jewelry. It is worth at least tens of millions. Clearly, it is not that they cannot pay. They simply do not want to. Besides, everyone knows the Yi family is in debt now. We are willing to give them money to pay off their debts. We have already done all we can for them. I look solemnly at my parents. Mom, Dad, business should be conducted with loyalty and goodwill. But if they do not appreciate it at all, we do not need to be so soft-hearted. I will never forget how the Yi family treated our Gu family in my past life. In this life, I am only giving them a taste of their own medicine.